The Whine and Cheese show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and welcome to Season 1, Episode 43 of the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show.
Today we talk to ourselves, about ourselves. We talked about Upland. We talked about this. We talked about that. Some of this, some of that. Da 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 da. Yada yada yada.
Yes. Trouble in the Minecrafts. Perfect timing. The goldsmith jumps in when we're recording the intro. Oh, well, let's just keep it rolling.
We're keeping this.
Let's just keep it rolling. Hello, the goldsmith. You've just jumped in right when we're finished and we're recording our intro. How are you?
I'm going to jump out then. I didn't realize.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. What did we talk about, the goldsmith, today? What do you think? Speculate. What did we talk about today?
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go with factories. I'm gonna go with decor is about to hit, and you probably found some good article about I don't know. Can it be Madonna again? But maybe like Lindsay Lohan with an NFT project of them growing out of her ears or something. I don't know.
Close enough.
Well, we did get sexy. There was some sexy stuff.
We did get sexy.
I was gonna go Lindsay Lohan and vagina, but it seemed like a little on the nose because the Madonna project. So
Nice. No, we did go full communist. Where else did we go? We went deep into the not FUD but kind of FUD. Yeah.
So Ben, do your little spiel.
What's my little spiel?
You do this. So hold on to your.
Oh, so yeah, we are the worst show ever, and this is the intro. It only gets worse from here. So hold on to your butts, people.
Whine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese. Cheese. One is a wanker, one's like it stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx.
G'day, sickos. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one this week. Through the week, we had the UDU podcast, and as part of that, we set up a challenge where we wanted you to submit some articles that we were going to talk about on this episode of the Whine and Cheese show. Well, guess what, Cheese? What did we do?
We fucked up.
We completely forgot. So we will hold true with that. Sickos, if you want to get involved on that, drop an article within the contents channel of the MBE server of some kind of metaverse related article that's of interest to the community, and we might ignore it too, but you will go on the wheel to win 20,000 UPX in next week's UDU podcast. Later.
Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs, interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello, welcome to the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show. This is episode 43.
Yippee!
It's good enough. All right, I thought you were going to say in a place to be or something. I don't know. I'll take yippee though.
That's too early.
Yeah, it's just us again. So that's either a want or a woo-hoo. We put the link out, so if anybody wants to hang out with us, that's fine.
We are kicking off a bit earlier than usual because I've been up since 2 a.m. for the Spark sale.
Yes. Did you get a Spark?
Get yourself any?
Yes.
I actually was able to get a full Spark, but no, I'm not going down that path. I've kind of done some ninja crunching. Done some ninja crunching, and I've worked out that I can pretty easily budget 0.5 Spark, once a month. That's pretty easy to do if I just don't fill up my fat mouth full of junk food when I'm on my lunch breaks. So.
I told Soli I won't have any more of this trail mix anymore. I'll survive on porridge.
Yeah. I just got no interest in grinding out treasures. That just doesn't appeal to me at all. So, 0.5 Spark once a month, that's definitely doable within my budget. That definitely falls within investing what I'm willing to lose sort of mentality. So yeah, I got no issues with that. And 6 spark a year, I think that's pretty sustainable. So
Yeah, definitely. And you're pretty secure right now. Like I have a lot of catching up to do. I do the treasure hunts, but I haven't been able to do them as much.
yeah.
So I'll get like maybe 0.10 a week.
Yep.
So that's pretty okay. Oh, I made a sale.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been doing standard hunts. I think I'm up way over 150 hunts with no spark chests. I just have zero RNG luck when it comes to spark chests.
All right. So for me, I noticed that some days are better than others. So like
Yeah.
if I do 10 or 15 and there's none, I'll just wait for the next day. And then if I get it within the first 10 or 15, then I know it's a good day and I know I'll get at least 3 more that day.
Well, I just can't even get a 1. So that's just really, I got all motivated and I was like, right, I'll grind away, I'll do this. And then it's just weeks and weeks with nothing. So in the end, you just go, oh, well, flog this. I'll go and play Adventure Capitalist instead.
That you got me into. I got to beat you.
Yes. All right. Well, what else is happening before we kick off officially?
Officially.
What's happening in the Upland?
Well, the spark sale, of course. We have Rio, and you know what's funny? Like, I'm gonna sound like such a freaking noob, but I didn't know that they dropped the announcement that it's coming out next week.
Yeah, you said yesterday was the DM. What the hell, Rio? I was
What
like,
the
yeah,
hell?
did you see that?
I didn't see that. Like, I feel like
it's,
and no one's really
just
talking.
No, there's just no real hype or interest or.
But why?
I don't
Like it's all right. I know people wanted like, either China or Japan or Korea or London, Italy, but Brazil, isn't that like like aren't we getting a twofer with this one? Like we're getting the soccer legits, and it's actually better than the NFLPA legits because it's
that's
actual.
Portugal, but yeah.
All right. And I don't know, like it's kind of like we want international. They give us an international and it's like, oh, we don't want that one.
I think it's just a case of it's just happened when the market's dead flat. There's nothing happening in the markets. Well, you said you just had a sale come through. Was that just a rando or was that a big property or what was it?
It was a 90,000 sale. I'll tell you, I didn't even look where it is.
Oh,
it was in 1035 South Grand Avenue, Los Angeles. I sold it for 90K. I probably got it for like 8K or something.
Nice.
But it's been on sale since
since the release.
Yeah.
I think people are just dead flat. Like I know there's a lot of people that don't have any liquidity, and I'm in that boat myself. Like I've just got over 1 million, but that needs to be saved for the UDU podcast. So, and I actually need, I think it's 1,060,000 or something to cover the fees once I send 1 million UPEX if that price goes off. So, yeah, my budget at the moment for Rio is 0.
Yeah, but you could flip, dude. Like, do you know, like, I feel like Rio is going to go so fast and not a lot of people are going to be able to go because it's probably going to be expensive to go.
It's free travel.
Really?
Free for 24 hours or something like that. So, yeah, I thought about this yesterday. I can envision a case where a lot of people get over there for free and they've spent all their money and then they can't leave. So, but I think the actual price to fly there is only like 4K or something anyway. It's not expensive by any stretch.
Yeah, but if you're a new player with only 4.5K, yeah.
Well, that's the same as if you want to go to Manhattan from San Francisco. I mean, if you're a new player, you shouldn't be trying to travel international. You should be trying to get established wherever the hell you end up. So you're on mute, lady.
sorry, I sneezed. I said that's my point. Like, let's say they want to put $20 in, but they don't want to spend it on flying back and forth or back because going there is free. Then they'll see if they could get any, like, cheap flips or something.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
easily turn like 8K into 16K.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, there's a lot of established players that won't bother going over there. They'll just pick up, market buys and that sort of thing. I'll head over there and I'll probably just set up there for the foreseeable future and just mint away the cheapest ones that I can on the floor for a while. Or if the case may be that I can buy flips that are cheaper than the floor, minting them, I'll just sit there and do that just within my budget. But I'm not going crazy.
And they'll be bought because, like, even TML on the UPX podcast last night said that he's not planning on going.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. What else was happening? Didn't we have another thing?
I mean, factories. I know we kind of pimped that out last night, but
give me some share screenage, please.
Oh shoot, sorry.
That's all good.
My
chair is extra squeaky today. I don't know if that's getting picked up. Apologies if it is.
I don't hear it. Why am I not doing the right thing? Do the right thing, Cheese.
Click on share screen.
There we go. I had to click on the arrow, not the actual share.
Hopefully this doesn't kill my computer like it did yesterday. But yeah, if you want to find out a bit more about factories and the whatnot, of course, there is a whole bunch of videos getting up at the moment by all the various YouTubers. We got together with Dak from the UCC and did a bit of a deep dive because, Cheese and myself, we have a business license. We are actually set up to begin manufacturing of outdoor decor items. So, we have the inside scoop a little bit more than some of the random speculation that's going on. So that's over here if you want to check that out. Metaverse Spotlight, Upland Meta Factory.
Now, I didn't even make a factory yet. Like, I kind of, didn't want to have anything that was factory related in my node, to be quite honest, yet.
Yeah, well, people are going to do what they're going to do. So that's just is what it is. There's just so many people building factories with no plan or no idea what they're going to do with it. And what's most concerning of all is I've seen some people building factories on a plot of land that basically just has enough room for the factory. So they're not going to be able to do bugger all with it. Even the factory that we're building in Midtown Terrace doesn't have a whole lot of room, but we have the scope to move in inventory out immediately from that. So I don't know. I think, like I said in the UDU server, I think people are just excited to have a new toy to play with, and you can't really fault people for that. So,
yeah, you could give advice. If they don't take it, they don't take it.
Or they don't like it if you give advice. I've been doing that in DMs, like getting DMs saying, "Hey, you can subcontract me to build your outdoor decor," and I'm like, "Already got it covered, mate." And they don't like that, especially when I say. Like, I've already got a well-established relationship with the UCC, and if I do anything, it'll be through them guys because they just take care of all the headaches and the logistics, and it's one figure of a bill I have to pay, whenever I have to pay it. It just simplifies the whole thing. Yeah, they don't like that. It goes back to the whole, it's just a bloody monopoly, blah, blah, blah. It's unfair. Right.
Here's what I have to say. And it's positive. People right now, they have their group of friends. You have a vision. Why not get with those group of friends, create a Discord, create a good kind of like group of people that you know and trust and like, and like, you're not going to do this on your own. You're going to need people to contribute, right? Create a website, start working on it now when beta is done, because beta, we can't even do anything with you guys during beta. That's another thing. So when everything is done, like, I'm more than positive, different places are going to fill up and there's going to be a need to fill in those gaps. Just, and then let's say you bought a big land to build a factory on. Don't feel bad. you know, you could, even if you didn't want to use that factory in the future, you could sell that to somebody who does.
But are people going to want to buy a big, massive block of land with a tiny factory on it?
Well, they're going to
Like
want the land.
Yeah,
They're
and
gonna
they're going to
want
want
the
the
land.
large factory on the large land. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah,
one of those
that's
things
true.
where
That's true.
people are just getting way ahead of themselves. I think, you know, the UDU, what are we? We're 18 months into our majorly long-term vision. You know, these things take time. You can't rush these things. Everyone's just like go go go, and it's like slow down, take a breath. Like you said, make some plans. And the biggest thing is make some plans and kind of stick to them. You know, there's way too much flip flopping happening all around the place. So. Anyhow, let's move on to some positive news. Assuming this will load. Let's move on to some positive news. Crypto tax guide. DeFi and NFTs tax in Australia. Now, I've been talking about tax on and off in this show and all over the place for ages, and I'm going to keep rambling because you're not paying attention.
I am. I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, crypto tax in Australia. I'm not going to dive into this too deep. If you want to know about the Australian crypto tax situation, you can go and check it out for yourself. The link will be in the description. Needless to say that Australia, the ATO, the Australian Taxation Office, is all over cryptocurrency. But this is interesting in this article that it specifically mentions DeFi and NFTs. So I'm going to skip all the crypto stuff. We know that every single transaction trade, crypto to crypto, is a taxable event. And yes, that is right. Crypto is not anonymous, despite what many people think. It's very easy to trace it once if you KYC anywhere, that trail can be followed very, very easily.
Yeah.
And, you know, it goes into capital gains, taxes, you know, profits and losses and that sort of thing.
Well, I was the one telling you about that. If you buy Bitcoin for 10,000 and then you buy milk with that crypto and it's 11,000, you have to pay the taxes on that 1,000 or whatever.
Absolutely. When it depends. It is a bit convoluted in that it can be for personal use. So if I was to buy, say I bought Bitcoin and then immediately use that to buy some kind of goods, that's treated differently than like a crypto to crypto trade.
Not
so
here.
there is a
Not
here there is. There's a personal use avenue. Like if you're buying concert tickets or something. But it's a very gray area. People try and exploit it, but they're just going to get wrecked.
Yeah, you can exploit the crap out of that. Like, what about a house?
Yeah, it is doable, but like I said,
Wow.
it's a case by case basis basically, and you're just not going to get away with anything. Is the bottom line. So
Holy smokes.
I'm gonna skip the DeFi stuff and just go straight to the NFT stuff. Now, this is what I was most interested in. Ever since, you know, the mention of the USD dollar system in Upland came on, I've been all on about taking a big step back and throwing up red flags about tax implications. So basically, the Australian Taxation Office is going to treat NFTs exactly the same as they do with crypto. So any sort of trade, any sort of buying and selling between NFTs will be a taxable event. So yes, it's people are going to get wrecked is the bottom line. Now, the one thing that protects us within the Upland economy is that we do not buy. Well, again, this is a bit tricky, isn't it? I do not buy NFTs with fiat. I haven't bought any of my NFTs for fiat. The only thing I've bought with fiat with the US dollars is the Spark token. As far as I'm aware, I would have to look through my blockchain history, but I don't think I've made any like NFT purchases. So all of those Spark, because I can't sell Spark, and I'm only, if I rent it out, it's only ever going to be for UpX, then there's no taxable events there. Basically it's a net loss. I've bought something that I can no longer do anything with, sort of thing, because
Now,
it's
let me
within
ask
the
you-
in-game economy.
Let me ask you a question. What if somebody gives you an NFT that they purchased with Ethereum and the value goes up? Do you have to pay the tax on the value going up on that? Because that was one of the things that they included in that bill that is supposed to come out in 2024, that people,
Unrealized gains.
people are really
Yeah.
trying to lobby against, which I hope they
Well,
do.
it's just mental. It makes no sense. You can't tax unrealized gains. It's just, well, they can, but it's just stupid.
Yeah.
In that scenario, the person who gifted it to you, they would have to, I would assume, again, I'm not a financial advisor or a tax specialist, but I assume the person gifting you the NFT would have to do that as a loss on their side of the books. And you wouldn't have to do anything with that unless you were collecting. If it was a stakeable NFT, then there's going to be tax implications on the income. Like if you gave me a wax NFT that generated wax tokens or something that I was then selling for wax, I would have to note that down as income. But if you just sent me an NFT, if you sent me a Bored Ape NFT and I didn't do anything at all with it, it just sat in my wallet, I wouldn't have to declare it unless I sold it, as far as I know. But yeah, can get very, very sticky.
Yeah,
I
this makes me
I
sick.
just think about all of the Australians who have gotten into Upland. They've bought their UPX with their Australian dollars. None of that has to be declared because it's all, you've just bought something that holds no value essentially. But then they've sold those for US dollars, traded those US dollars to buy other properties, and then cashed out. That's all taxable now, and you're going to have to report all of that because you've been KYC'd through Tilia to get part of that system, and they will know. There's no escaping it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see a lot of wrecked people in the future. So we'll see. Now, there was one part in here.
Oh my God, that getting help with your crypto taxes looks so scary. But
Well,
what do you have? The disposal of cryptocurrency.
Well, hang on. Well, I'll just speak to that before you go. Remember, I've told you previously that I reached out. What was it? 2018. I reached out to a specialist crypto tax accountancy firm, and they had my data for nearly 10 months, and they gave up. They couldn't work it out.
Wow.
So, what do you do in that case? It's just crazy. So, yeah. The disposal of the cryptocurrency is a capital gains event. Similarly, when an NFT is sold for crypto, the disposal of the NFT it's either a capital gains or a capital loss event, depending on the dollar value of the crypto asset that is received in the return for the NFT. Now, the reason I highlight this is I think with the bear market that's going on, I think there is a lot of very smart people that are going to make full use of the NFTs and especially the capital loss system, and they're just going to make a boatload of money.
But it's funny that they're putting this out there, like at least, like, all right, so remember the whole thing I was talking to you about with the tax stuff like this, and Biden signed it in a year ago for 2024, and I was like, this sucks. You're reading it so calm, like you're okay with this.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Because I've been through hell with the ATO. So
like NFTs, like that's really should be left alone. It's more of a collection. Like, do they tax people on Pokemon cards or something, or I don't know.
Well, they would if you're making a crap ton of money off it. Like if you sold a Pokemon card for $1 million, there's going to be
all right,
questions
$1 million,
asked.
sure, but like these people with the NFTs, they're not really making that much money. Like I have to pay $20 a month now for my IPFS. I have to pay for my RAM. Like I feel like I'm spending more money than I'm getting.
Yeah. Well, you could write that all off as a loss.
I know,
Or
but I
assume.
kind of hate doing
or
that. Like,
deduction.
I just want it to be left alone.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm so calm about it all is because I've been talking about this for 2 years within the upland economy, like warning people of it and protecting myself from it and that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, but like I said, there's plenty of people going to get wrecked. But yeah, kind of continuing on from what I was saying about people going to make a boatload of money out of it. It brings up this article. Now, again, I'm not going to dive into this specifically, but there's an article here. Over 30% of crypto users will never buy an NFT, study shows. Okay, so what does that actually mean? Blah, 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 blah. Even though 2021 was a good year for NFTs, people's natural curiosity waned. Crypto users are not as interested in this new technology as they were a year ago. Blah, 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 blah. FUD, 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 FUD. And then there's the poll here. When did you buy your first NFT? In 2022, 24.4%. In 2021 or before, 17.1%. I plan to buy my first NFT, 26.8%. I will never buy an NFT.
You know what's going to be funny though?
31.7%.
People who say they're never going to buy an NFT, I'm sure sometime in the future, or it happened already, they've already purchased one without knowing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so now this is the point that I'm alluding to here. The crypto bear market impacts NFTs too. Now, I see a lot of people who have made massive gains in crypto over the last year will be able to write off losses by buying NFTs or selling NFTs at a loss and that sort of thing. I think there's, as I said, I think there's some very smart people that are going to clean up. You know, like you do with your stocks, you make your money when the markets are downtrending. I think there's a lot of smart people that are going to do the same with the downturn in the NFT markets.
Here's the thing. If you're not making any money off of the loss, just for tax implications. All right. So let me give this as an example. I make money by lending out the stocks I already own.
Yep.
If the stock goes down, I make money by kind of buying back my option call at pennies when I made hundreds off of it. But at the same time, my stock is still down.
Yeah.
So like these people who are selling their crypto for a loss, they're still selling their crypto for a loss, even though they can get back to taxes for it.
Yeah, but are they banking those losses for future gains, whether it be crypto related or other NFT related things? So I just think there's an avenue there that people are going to play with.
Yeah.
People that are way smarter than me, and especially accountants that are
There's not many people like that.
savvy. I don't know about
You're
that.
giving people too much credit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think there's a really smart angle in there somewhere, and yeah, we'll see. Yeah, users feel comfortable owning NFTs during a bear market. Well, maybe you sell your one board ape NFT at a loss, but then you buy some other ones up, and then you're going to sell it once the market returns. I don't know. Like I said, I just get a feeling there's something in there that somebody's probably doing a lot with. Anyhow, shall we move on?
It's just so funny, like these artists and talented people who are finally making some money. It's just really hard for them to kind of get a foot in. You know what I'm saying? And now this kind of stuff is making it even harder.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of roadblocks there. Now this article kind of alludes to that. NFTs and blockchain tech are now banned from Minecraft. Did you see this all kick off?
No.
Yes. Now this has massive implications for at least 2 major NFT projects that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So speaking of, banking losses and that sort of thing, yeah. So again, I'm not going to dive into this too deeply. You can check this out for yourself. But yeah, Microsoft-owned Mojang is banning the use of blockchain technology and NFTs inside the Minecraft client and any affiliated server applications. They're taking a hard stance against the technology that will prevent third-party operators from creating Minecraft NFTs, or this is the important point, profiting off of tokens that can grant access to exclusive Minecraft servers. So you know what I'm going to say there, Cheese, don't you?
I'll let you say it first.
Should we dive into this any further?
Yeah.
I don't think we need.
Wait. I don't land there.
I know.
There.
Here we go. You can read this part.
So not only is blockchain token implementation banned, but any other Minecraft NFTs used for world files or skin packs are banned as well. The company has also banned the practice of allowing players to earn NFTs through activities performed on a server or earning Minecraft NFTs for activity outside of the game. That's kind of fucked up. Like, to be quite honest, I didn't even think to get back into Minecraft until there was an NFT related to it.
Again, I just froze up again. What did you just say?
Oh, I said I didn't even plan to get back into Minecraft until I found out that there was an NFT related to it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like these NFT projects brought so many people to Minecraft to purchase it. You know, I don't know.
Well, this is kind of explains that a little bit.
Each of these uses of NFTs and other blockchain technologies creates digital ownership based on scarcity and exclusion, which is not aligned with Minecraft's values of creative inclusion and playing together. The company explained it, added that the use of technology creates a scenario of fuck you, the have and have nots. Like, nobody's saying that they can't play in their own freaking servers. This is like a separate thing. That's stupid.
Yes.
That's dumb.
So I've got another article here, but I forget what it was about. Yeah, so this is further to that. Minecraft-based NFT project in disarray after Minecraft bans NFTs. Now, this isn't the one that you're thinking of. This is an additional one, but
Wow.
yeah. NFT Worlds generated millions in sales of Minecraft-linked NFTs and now says it could pivot following a ban. So, yeah, you had some of these kind of projects selling access and plots of land in their servers for thousands and upon thousands of dollars and making millions of dollars. So, yeah. So this is basically, it covers the same sort of stuff. There was something in here. Yeah, here we go. This on news of the decision by Mojang Studios, a popular NFT project that sits on top of Minecraft, saw its tokens and NFTs plummet in value. NFT World sells NFTs tied to world seeds, which can be used to create Minecraft worlds using the base game client. And this is important. To date, that project has generated over $75 million in transaction volume at today's crypto prices. So,
but so what? Like, all right, so if I made a game and people were using it to kind of do this, like, instead of just banning them, kind of like work with them or something. I don't know.
Like, 75 million is a lot of money. Do you think the situation here is, hang on a minute, you're using all of our IP and stuff and we're not getting a cut of this? Is that part of it?
But if that was the case, they would have at least tried.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
They're
Maybe
saying
they're
it's
throwing
not within their values.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely seems like they're just taking a hard stance on it.
Yeah.
So, there was something at the end. Ah, here we go. Read that one.
Notably, Mojang isn't completely ruling out integrating blockchain tech or NFT. See, one day, what a bunch of fucking hypocrites. What a bunch
it'll
of
be when they
fucking
set it up.
hypocrites. Yeah.
It'll be when they set up and make the money, which I don't know. I kind of.
All right, but don't say it's against your values.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying it's against your values, but then, oh, I'm going to do it later.
It might be against their economic values.
Maybe.
Uh,
Wow. Wow. They should have.
I mean, I
just
kind of get it. If you put a project out there and you're running this thing and suddenly some people parasitize it and they're making tens of millions off of your
Yeah, but
off
at
of
the
your
same
product,
time, they're
basically.
putting the work into it. They're the ones getting
Yeah.
the people. They're the ones that put the work. They're the ones that set it up. I would say, hey, listen, you're not allowed to do this, but let's talk. Maybe
Yeah.
we can get like a partnership going, and you can be kind of like an extrovert, there has to be some sort of percentages going to us. And I'm more than positive, because remember when I came to you over a year ago with that 7 Days to Die kind of world that was similar to Minecraft, I wouldn't have done it without talking to the actual creators of the game, and I actually know them. So I'm surprised a lot of these people didn't, talk to Minecraft first and just kind of did it willy-nilly. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Now, the next part is not a FUD piece. We're not here to FUD. We're simply reporting on what we know. There's two projects that I know of that this impacts significantly. Now, I have checked both of their Twitters this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dive in that. You can dive in that to yourself. And I can't see that they're really just discussing it much. Although the first one is saying that they, like in this article, says they will pivot and try to adapt. But yeah, the first one we've got here is the Uplift World. Now, this is the one you're invested in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in their Discord. I have land. I collect their token. It's a nice community.
Yeah, so the Uplift World is a community-first metaverse built on the Wax blockchain and running on Minecraft as a base layer. So as of now, this has all gone up in smoke as far as I'm aware. So yeah, this is their white paper, by the way. And yeah, if you check out the Uplift World stuff, if you check out any of the stuff that's actually being built in it, it's incredible. And the amount of time and effort and that's going into it, the teamwork, the collaboration, and it's immense what they're doing. It will be a shame if it's lost completely. I don't know how that they can pivot. Like the Uplift World was talking about cross-chain capability. I think they were going to start doing something in Ethereum, but if Minecraft has put the kibosh on it completely, I mean, where do they go?
I mean, they could. That last paragraph you showed me kind of shows an opening. They could work with Minecraft directly. Maybe Minecraft is doing this just to kind of get that conversation going. Like if they have someone in their team that's really good with communications and can kind of build a partnership with them, maybe that's all they're really wanting, hopefully.
Yeah, so not sure.
Yeah, that would be a shame, because that was like a really cool project.
And that was quite expensive too, wasn't it? What did you pay to get into that?
Maybe
multiple
500.
thousands of.
Oh,
or was it only 500 wax?
Oh no, $500, like 2,000 wax.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It's not a small chunk of change.
Yeah,
So,
I had fun. I had my fun. I mean, not to sound like a fat dolphin. I got out of it what I wanted.
Bloated.
Bloated,
Same
chunky, fluffy.
yeah, so the Uplift World is one, and then like that article mentioned, there's another one here, NFT Worlds, which, this is their white paper too, and it's very similar.
Oh, I never even heard of them.
This is the one that made $75 million. So yeah, so currently they're using Minecraft. It's pretty much exact same thing, except this one is backed by Ethereum. This was an Ethereum-based project as far as I'm aware, whereas the Uplift World was wax-based. So yeah.
Yeah, I would think the Ethereum one would take a much greater hit than wax, because wax is cool and everything, but it's not as out there as Ethereum, and like you wouldn't even kind of think to check on it.
Yeah. So if you have properties or buildings in any of those projects, you might want to get back in touch with the team and start working out what you're going to do.
Yeah, and I went to Corey, the uplift.world drops on ETH 716. Maybe
So,
that
yeah, but
wasn't a good thing.
Well, they can't do it because Minecraft has said no, so they can't sell anything more.
Anything more?
You know, they can sell it on Solana. They can use whatever crypto they want.
Yeah.
But they can't do it within Minecraft. So that's cross-chain capabilities and that sort of thing. I don't think that means a damn thing if they've had the door slammed on them. So
yeah.
But as I said, we don't know all the information. If you have stuff in those projects, get in contact and work out how to proceed.
Yeah. Hopefully
Again,
something can be worked out.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not trying to fight on those projects.
No, I'm in one of those projects. I like it. I enjoy it. So.
Yes. Now, on the flip side, so Minecraft has said no NFTs. You can all piss off, and blockchain for now. Well, not every big gaming company has that kind of mindset. The next one. Epic Games definitely won't follow Minecraft's lead and ban NFTs, says CEO.
Smart, because they know it brings people to them.
Yeah.
Like people need the base game in order to, participate in the NFT projects.
Yeah, there you go. So read those bullet points for us.
All right. In brief, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney said that the Epic Games Store will not ban NFTs in game, following word that Microsoft will ban NFT use in Minecraft. The Epic Games Store had over 194 million users as of the end of 2021, and multiple NFT-powered games are coming to it later this year. Smart.
So this is a complete flip between a massive company that's
in the
shying
now
away from the technology,
yeah,
and another one that's leaning heavily into the technology.
and
now,
which is more popular?
Yeah,
which is more popular?
Oh, I don't know the numbers of Minecraft, but I imagine that's
it's
incredible.
Minecraft was for what came out when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, right?
Yeah,
and I never heard of it again until the Uplift World brought it back to life. So
yeah, well, we're old farts, don't forget.
Well, true, but all I hear about is Fortnite. Fortnite this, Fortnite that, Fortnite this, Fortnite that. So if Fortnite is okay to let these projects coming in, I'm sure it's because they're smart enough to know that these projects are bringing them, traffic. These people come in. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just did a quick Google. In April 2021, Minecraft had nearly 140 million monthly active users. So I think it'd be fairly similar if you convert that to 2022. So sorry to cut you off there. So yeah, but is the Minecraft play, is that just a complete fake out where they're just shaking off the parasites? Potentially they will do it, they will embrace it, but on their terms.
But they're not parasites. Not in my eyes. They're creators.
Well, yeah, but if a company is making $75 million off of your game and you're not seeing a cent of it,
yeah, I'm gonna want to talk to them.
That's a parasitic relationship.
It's not. It's like start a conversation, say, hey, listen, you're not supposed to be doing this, but you're doing good work. Let's talk.
Yeah, you're right.
They did all the work for them. Uplift did all the other people, they did all the work for them. All they have to do is just be partners with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even not partners, whether it becomes a buyout of the technology or something like that too. Who knows?
True. Yeah, true. They could just, buy them all out and have something already made.
Yeah, companies do that all the time.
Maybe even
so-
hire them on.
And there we go. I like this.
Developers should be free to decide how to build their games, and you are free to decide whether to play them. I believe stores and operating system makers shouldn't interfere by forcing their views onto others. We definitely won't. What a good person. What a good Sweeney.
What a good little Sweeney.
Good little Sweeney.
Yeah.
See, this makes me feel a certain way about Fortnite, you know?
Yeah. Well,
It makes-
Fortnite is just primed to transfer to an NFT platform. I mean,
Oh yeah,
if
and they
they've made-
should.
billions on skins and this sort of thing. I mean,
But here's the thing, they'll make billions, but the consumers will also be making more money than as if they would just buy a skin. Like,
absolutely.
to be fair, everybody wins.
Yes. And if they put a resale tax on that, like if somebody buys a skin from Fortnite, of course they make all the money from that. If that gets sold on the secondary and they get a cut, well, they're making a crap ton more money on zero extra work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
know,
this was extremely smart of Fortnite to put out this article right after Minecraft put out that Minecraft news. This was incredibly smart.
Yeah, so that might be a good point to wrap us up on for this one there.
The firm also has significant metaverse aspirations, as they should, recently raising another $2 billion at a $31.5 billion valuation, with intentions to build the metaverse. Oh, I love this. However, Epic Games has thus far not used cryptocurrency or blockchain networks within its own games and tools, despite allowing other developers to launch NFT-focused games on its marketplace. You know, this is amazing.
I think this is exactly what you kind of were talking about. Let creators create, find out what works, don't get yourself involved until it's kind of matured a bit, and then take those lessons and make an absolute crap ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
Let them do all
you're
the
essentially
work for
getting
you.
you're getting all your R&D done for free.
Yeah.
So,
Basically, they're the betas. They're the ones that are experimenting and taking the losses for you.
absolutely.
I think Minecraft is just being very freaking petty and actually very, like, what's the word? Selfish.
Yeah. Well, that's Minecraft. That's Microsoft in a nutshell, isn't it? You know.
True.
So, see how we go. Now, moving on, I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey here. Now, you haven't seen any of these articles that I'm going to post up next and that we're going to run through. So this will be a bit of fun.
I haven't seen any of these articles, to be quite. I love like just seeing them for the first time right now. I get so much passion.
Hold on to your socks.
Hold on to my socks.
Yeah.
Is the metaverse going to suck? A conversation with Matthew Ball. Who the fuck is Matthew Ball?
Okay. Where is it? Now, this is a massive article. It's basically, I believe it's like a podcast, and this is the transcript of it. So I'm not going to dive into it too much, but there you go. Here's the answer to your question.
All right. Luckily, we have some help. Today, I'm talking with Matthew Ball, who is the author of the new book called The Metaverse and How It Revolutionized Everything. Matthew was the global head of strategy at Amazon Studios in 2018. He left Amazon to become an analyst and started writing the metaverse on his blog. He's been writing about this since before the hype exploded, and his book aims. Dirk's book is better, even though he doesn't know me.
Okay. Okay. So going off the headline, is the metaverse going to suck? Now, hopefully, oh no, I clicked off it, so I'm going to have to find it again. I did find it. Now I'm going to have to do it all again. Bear with me. There was a really good bit down here.
It might suck for some people, but it's not going to suck for me.
Where is it now? I'm going to have to find it. Well, why is it not going to suck for you?
Because I don't leave the house. I'm a social introvert which means I have my moments. They're far and few, but I'd rather stay home and play video games. So for
Yes.
me, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to want to go out in a metaverse setting.
Yep. Here we go. This is what I wanted. So dive into this.
All right. I understand what you're saying. It is the description that matters. And this word may go out of fashion. Let me
Meaning
just
metaverse.
let me just push on that description and definition a little bit. Right now, you can log into Fortnite and run around with a bunch of friends. It is cross-compatible with many different kinds of devices, so it does not matter what hardware you have in your house. True, you are in a persistent online space where lots of other people are. Are you saying that because Fortnite does not connect to Roblox, it is not the metaverse?
So
But
do you see what's happening here? It's kind of like what we've had with nodes within the Upland community, where the term metaverse is, I can't say being used incorrectly. That's not the right way to phrase it, but it's just been thrown around everywhere. And this kind of, it dives into it now in this next bit. So this was cool, this bit. I like
so wait,
this.
is he saying that he needs metaverses to collide, or galaxies to collide in order for it to be a metaverse?
Not collide, connect. is probably-
Connect.
yeah, so there you go. Read in this next bit.
All right, this would be a little bit like asking if AOL ran on multiple different devices and a few different networks. Is that the internet? We could say it is, but if you talked about just AOL services in particular, you would be talking about a proprietary platform. You would not be talking about a unified experience that spans into industry with myriad different output servers or domain registrars. I mean, I get it, but so he's trying to say the metaverse is like the internet with a whole bunch of different galaxies inside.
Yeah, remember that was, I forget what article we were talking about, where it was explained that well, first of all, there is no the metaverse. It's not a singular thing.
There is no metaverse, only Zool. Sorry, I had to do it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, that galaxy analogy is a good one, I think. But you know, they're all connected within the universe. So yeah, it continues. The metaverse is really describing that unified experience rather than a single expression, much like we would not say Facebook is an internet or the internet. When you were talking about Fortnite, there are certainly a bunch of things that do not fit there. It is not actually a persistence experience, and there are very few people who can connect to it at one point. Nominally, there are 100 people in a match, but they use a bunch of cheats so that there are only really 12 people that matter. It does not connect into anything that isn't purely game-like and leisure-orientated. So yeah.
That sounded a little bitter.
Yeah.
Kind of. A little bit, right?
So yeah, it goes on here. Your turn.
I've had 5 million turns. People want to hear an Aussie accent. All right. The definition of the internet at its most basic levels is a network of networks. Yeah,
Yep.
Definitely. You are connected to the network at university, work, or at home, where you can go out and connect to Amazon's network of servers to browse, then leave Amazon and connect to Facebook's network of servers to do stuff there. You are saying the metaverse is the same thing as that overarching network of networks. It is a connectivity between multiple different 3D worlds. That's what we said.
Yeah. So,
So
but a lot of
smart.
people aren't getting that. You know, that I think Facebook has a large amount of blame here by calling themselves Meta and the Metaverse and all that sort of stuff. Facebook is not the Metaverse.
I know, but you know what? It's smart marketing, to be quite honest. You're never going to have everybody on the same page. Just like with the node thing, no one's going to really, even if they do understand what a node is or a community development is, they're still going to say node because it's easier than saying community development. Node, it's fast, it's easy.
Now
So
this is where I think Upland, if they play their cards right, have a massive potential here to be one of those. Essentially, Upland will become a node
Yeah.
You know, so you think of
Within
like
a metaverse.
yeah, Upland in itself is a kind of metaverse, one of the sub metaverse or whatever you want to call it, and it may be connected to the Lux metaverse. And you know, we've talked about that with the Lux, like
Yes.
maybe selling or moving decor items between
Yes.
metaverses.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
that's where the real benefit comes from. Yeah,
And I
if
think
you're
it'll
just
happen. It'll
yeah,
happen.
and it goes back to my node analogy where I said that's not a node, mate. This is a node. Well, that's not a metaverse, mate. This is a metaverse. Like if you're just your own little island out in the middle of nowhere all by yourself, yeah, sure, you can call yourself a metaverse, but you're really just a 3D internet, you know, maybe a Web3 project or something. You're not really, if there's no connections to other platforms. I get what this article is saying, basically. And I think it's a really important point.
Yeah, because I mean, they're already making things where like nodes within the metaverse connect. We read about that a few shows ago.
Yes, absolutely.
That's really cool. I like this article.
Yeah, and it talks about Epic Games and Roblox and blah blah blah. I don't know. I won't dive into this. I'm
so interested in
Roblox.
I think if Roblox came out with something, I think we should take our MVE business name branding with you, me, and D-Tech and just freaking own those kids and take all their money.
Oh, I've got kids who play Roblox. I'll be exploiting my own children.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a very large, very good article. And as I said, I believe it's a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and this is, yeah, here it is here. Decoder with Nilay Patel, Megaphone podcast or something. Or maybe that's
wow.
the
I got a
Decoder, I believe. So yeah, if you want to check this out, I'm definitely going to follow the links and check this one out for myself. It'd be interesting to hear them, you know, talk this through in their own voice rather than me rambling on about it. So check that one out for sure.
We put all of our articles in our YouTube description area, so you could see every article that we've talked about and like do a deeper dive.
Yep. So yeah, is the metaverse going to suck?
No.
Some of them will because they're not connected to the real, true, overreaching umbrella metaverse.
Well, the metaverse in itself isn't going to suck, but some projects within the metaverse will suck.
Yep. And they will fizzle and die and all the rest of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't even remember what I said here. Oh, the next one. This is what the Metaverse. Good old Metaverse.
Miami Vice.
This is what the metaverse will look like 20 years from now. The metaverse of the future will transform how we work and our sense of self, and what we see now is only scratching the surface.
I agree with that.
Every single week we say, yes, it's clunky, but it's not about what it is now. It's about where it's headed. And I talk about this in my professional life as a kindergarten teacher. Like we do little projects and activities and that sort of stuff, and some of my assistants are always worried about basically the kids stuff at the end. It looks like dog shit. It's not about the end product, it's about the process, you know, that kind of thing. So.
Your kids are going to grow up, they're going to watch these and they're going to be like, holy shit, Professor Ben.
Professor.
He said my drawing was dog shit.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, this goes on to say the metaverse will probably look a tad different than what you imagine it to be, a tiny little bit less ridiculous, a good amount of abundance, and a whole lot more real. And yes, you will be wearing a headset acting as an entry point. No, you won't.
You might. You know,
some of them
glasses,
you will.
Like
some of them you will.
Like you'll be waking up in the morning and putting on your metaverse glasses, and then that'll be it.
Again, going back to Upland, I think this is a very smart play that Upland's doing, where they're going to have both possibilities as far as, you know, what they've been talking about. They will have immersive experiences that don't require that, but they're also going to cater towards the crowd that wants those kind of further things. I'm not checking your squirrel DMs you're sending me.
You have to.
I got in trouble last time I did that. I'm not doing it. Oh, I can do it on my phone actually. Then I won't get in trouble.
Well, can
All
you,
right,
can you read this a little bit, and I'll be back in exactly 1 minute. Time me.
All right, go for it.
All right, and I got to stop my video. You know why?
I got no idea. I don't think I want to know. We are, without a fraction of a doubt, seeing explosive growth when it comes to all things metaverse, NFTs, and digitalization. The thing is, though, we're still in the beginning of it all and are very much in the early innings of the metaverse and its real life applications. Yeah, absolutely. We're all just fumbling around in the dark, basically, but the groundwork's being laid for what it could become. Now, there's videos there, and then I've highlighted this bit here. First of all, there will be a number of metaverses for forming one all-encompassing metaverse, not just one, similarly to how countries are set up. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we just talked about before. I will wait for Cheese to get back before we dive into that. And yeah, because that's important. And I'll skip ahead and we'll just do this. So how are we going to enter the metaverse? With a sick pair of wireless headsets, of course. Picture Google Glass or Snapchat spectacles. Now think about what those will look like now, and then remember what phones used to look like 20 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. I was dead set against getting a smartphone until we moved back to Japan. And I think it was in 2011 or something like that. And my wife was adamant that she wanted an iPhone, and I pushed against it. But of course, as you do with most things, I lost out on that argument, and we ended up getting them. And then I was just fully on board with mobile gaming, which turned into mobile game development and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it definitely starts off clunky, and some of the Google glasses and some of the
Okay.
sunglasses and things that we've looked at previously. Cheese kind of thought they looked cool. I thought they looked like shit, but you could see the newer generations of them were starting to look a bit more cool. So we'll see.
They'll evolve.
Yes. Now, I don't know if you heard, but I was rambling past this highlighted bit because I think this is the meat and potatoes of this one.
All right.
So I already read that first bit. So this is exactly what we're talking about, where metaverses are going to be all encompassing, you know, and there's going to be interoperability, connectedness, and all that sort of stuff. So you can pick it up from paragraph 2.
All right. All of these varying metaverses will eventually be interconnected and, most importantly, interoperable. That's what I can't say it because but that's what we were talking about before, that word interoperable, that meaning like they can like communicate or whatnot between.
Yep.
That is, of course, if the promise of Web 3.0 comes into fruition, which it will. While existing independently, this plethora of metaverses will also function in unison, meaning denizens will be able to move ideally freely from one to the other and explore the various experience each one has to offer.
So
yeah, that's cool.
Imagine you're playing around in the Lux metaverse and there's a portal to go and jump into Upland. Well, you know, you put your avatar through that portal and what is it? Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Then you find yourself in Upland and you can go and mint some properties in Rio and you do what you need to do there. And there's another portal there to jump to, I don't know, the whatever the hell metaverse, Roblox metaverse.
Speaking of Upland, like in the Vegas event, they even said that they'll be taking in other NFTs that aren't in different blockchains. So that's the beginning. Yep. And like
absolutely
everyone who's like, Upland, you know, you can't do anything in Upland. Like you could do plenty in Upland, and like I don't want it to be some corny Decentraland or sandbox type of thing. Like I want an adult game. Like I want what everything like that Upland is promising us. To me, that's better than just walking around ordering fake food. And I'll keep saying that, like ordering fake food and this is not, I want to do real things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fudders and the rage quitters will say, oh, Upland's a scam because you can import your NFTs, but you can't take them out wah wah, boo hoo. But they made that very clear from the outset. If you're somebody who read that documentation and then imported all of your NFTs and you can't get them out, that's through no fault of anybody but yourself. These things take time to implement. You have to have a long-term mindset because this is cutting-edge technology that's being built from the ground up. You got to have patience. It's just kind of crazy. I have imported 0 NFTs into Upland because I'm not willing to go there just yet.
Yeah, same.
And by all accounts, setting up that portal is just a monumental nightmare of clickety-clicketing. So I got better things to do with my time than beat my head against the wall and then be able to put things in and not do anything with it. So I have plenty of Upland NFTs ready to go and other NFTs that I want to move in, but I won't do that until the system has time to mature.
Agree.
So it goes on to say the whole of the metaverse composed of all these mini metaverses will most likely enhance our reality and not fully displace it within an alternative one. And that's what you're saying as well, like as far as ordering food and, whether it be buying clothes or, having work meetings or anything like that.
Exactly. It's supposed to enhance it.
Yeah. Many people think the concept of the metaverse is a strictly virtual world. That's not the point. Rather, it will add to what we know and can see all around us, enable us to customize our environment in a myriad of detailed ways, making us more productive, more creative, and happier. It's going to be a more augmentative process and not one of replacement. Yeah.
I like this article made me happier.
Yeah.
It's a good article.
The fear is, you're going to put your headset on and that's it. Your kids are going to starve and this, that, and the other thing.
They might. Some people are weird.
Oh, yeah. Well, kids starve in the real world when there's no VR headsets. There's just dumb, dead shit people out there who shouldn't have kids. That's just a kind of an analogy, but yeah. I think the pros are going to definitely outweigh the cons. Although there are some things to be concerned about, which we will dive into next, I believe.
Ooh.
Now, one of these articles has shocking ads in it, which nearly crashed my computer. So here we go. Read that one.
How China threatens to splinter the metaverse.
Now,
I feel like it's not going to splinter it. It's going to enhance it. In the future, the metaverse could be split into 2, China and the rest of the world.
Here we go. Look at all these ads popping up. Yeah, this might be the one that killed my computer. Well, what did we say last week? China, or one city in China, the Shanghai government, was setting up to spend $52 billion, not million, $52 billion on metaverse technology. So, yes, one thing to be aware of. Now, we already see this with, China doesn't, what is it? It doesn't have Twitter. It has something else, or, it has its own versions of Twitter. It has its own versions of Facebook, and it has its own versions of Google.
Because they're kind of like, because they're still kind of communist.
Country.
Yeah.
Well, they're not kind of communist. Yeah. So,
man.
Again, this is quite a long article, but it alludes to when Mark Zuckerberg announced in October that Facebook was changing its name to Meta. The news made waves well beyond Silicon Valley. Overnight, it became talk of the town in China as well, triggering fierce debates between founders, investors, and their corporations. It's no surprise that the idea of the metaverse thrilled the Chinese tech community. Every few years, an overarching theme emerges, rallying talent and capital. The ability to ride such waves, or better dictate, shape them, blah, 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 blah. So there's one part in this that kind of really stood out to me. I don't know, what's your whole thoughts on the whole fracturing into 2 main camps?
That they're going to want to kind of compete. It's like a race. Like I'm seeing it, I'm associating it to the space race. Like they want to kind of get there first, sort of thing, before the rest of the world.
Yeah, no, east kind of west sort of thing. Now, Pony Ma is some massive entertainment and social media empire in China. What does this say before? Pony Ma, in fact, publicly laid out a vision for building something very similar to the metaverse just a few months before Zuckerberg announced his company's name change. Pony Ma called it the Quanzhen Internet, meaning all real internet. The concept, while vaguely defined, encompasses using the web to meld manufacturing and work and overlaps with many aspects of the Facebook co-founder's vision. But this iteration could turn out very differently, as it will be born under the watchful eye of Beijing from day one. So yeah, this is not, it's not a capitalist market economy where the market's going to do what the market's going to do. This is the government basically controls everything.
Yeah.
It has its fingers in everything.
That
now
kind of
dives into the,
sucks.
here we go here. Much like the internet, the world's second largest economy will likely shield its netizens from the rest of the global metaverse. China's internet industry has grown to its size today in part because the government kept it on a loose lead while holding it behind a firewall. The country was more preoccupied with controlling gas, oil, telecommunications, finance, and traditional media, virtually unhindered. Western capital and local entrepreneurs found opportunities in communist China to devise a formula that married the global capital and technology with the world's largest population. So, yeah. The metaverse will be a different story. While local government officials in cities like Shanghai seem to embrace the concept, oh yeah, 52 billion is certainly embracing it, announcing their, I'll move on from that. Chinese economist Ren Ziping pointed out the dangers of a metaverse, accusing it of potentially causing lower marriage and birth rates.
Wow.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit. The logic being that if people are too busy entertaining themselves in the virtual world, they wouldn't need to seek connections in the real one. Now, with these massive countries, maintaining the population is a very real concern. I know it was always the talk when I was living in Japan that the country is very concerned about their declining population rate because, you know, you don't have enough workers to pay the taxes and all of that sort of stuff and the future pensions and whatnot.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, people, all right, so aren't people in like China and Japan not marrying much anyway because of social anxieties? Wouldn't this kind of bridge that? Like, I met solely on the internet. I probably would still be single if he didn't kind of sneak his way into my life. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person that just goes out and meets people like that. But I met him on the internet, you know.
Yep.
Like how maybe this is what they need to raise those kind of things like marriages and birth rates, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, because they're not going to meet them on their own going outside, but they'll meet them in the metaverse and then meet up.
Yes. Here we go. Web3. Yet there's another concept on the horizon, Web3, an internet restored to its decentralized origins by building services on top of blockchains or managed and accessed on peer-to-peer distributed networks. Corporations from the Web2 era are dispatching teams internally to develop their own versions of Web3, incorporating such services onto their own platform to stay relevant, which is the big point we're always talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Tencent, which is a game corporation that I believe I think it's set up further up in the article. They have the local Chinese market for Roblox or something like that. It's brainstorming ways to stake out a plot in the future internet landscape, but it faces unique constraints. The ideal version of Web3 is an executable Magna Carta, the foundation of the freedom of the individual against the arbitrary authority of the despot. The promises of Web3 are enticing enough, so much so that corporations and venture capitalists are already rushing into the space, creating memes that have made the concept somewhat amorphous. Skeptics argue it's ironically perverting the notion of Web3 as they are betting that it will yield the next Apple, reasserting corporate dominance in a realm that's supposed to champion the little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Web3 is supposed to be from the bottom up, whereas internet is from the top down.
So how do you feel that Web3 is going to go in China, where the Chinese government has a heavy hand over all its citizens and all of the corporations? Doesn't seem like a happy marriage, does it?
Well, I mean, they can have people create their Web3 and just kind of take it from them. Developing Web3 in China is almost impossible, as everything about the concept contradicts the government's central priorities, namely meaning control over content and infrastructure, and by limiting its own technology corporations. China might lose out on what could become the next wave.
However, China does have something that the West doesn't have, which is a very scary concept to myself and many in the West, with the social credit score and that sort of thing. Like, if you don't have enough social credits, well, you can't get on the train to go on a holiday to whatever, or that sort of thing. No, you can't buy this or that because, you know, you've done something that's impacted on your social credit score.
That's like a Black Mirror episode. That was a Black Mirror.
It is literally a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Now, but a social credit score, it's a weird thing where a social credit score, that kind of system lends itself to being adapted straight into Web3. It's kind of a bizarre paradox there somewhere.
Jeez.
You know, it's very kind of kooky and scary. So we'll see. Now this company, what's it called? Pangma or something? Sorry, I'm gonna Ponyma. Yeah, so everything may have grown out of his hands. The empire he's created may have grown too vast and powerful for the Chinese government to stomach. A beast that needs to be tamed, a tool that needs to be harnessed to ensure the rule of the party. In that environment, attempting to blaze new trails could be a minefield. So, yeah.
That sucks, because I'm sure they have
tricky.
they have to have so much God, what's the word? Like genius there, just waiting to explode.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, here we go. What's this? An overconfident dragon will have cause for remorse. If Ponyma's generation of entrepreneurs spent the first half of their lives swimming upstream like carps to leap over the gates of the Yellow River hoping to become dragons, then following ancient wisdom, the second part of their fate lies in knowing when to bow out, or perhaps becoming part of the system they once wished to change.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's kind of pretty ominous. There's a lot in there that we didn't touch on, so if you want to dive into that further, yeah, jump on over and check it out. And again, that's not trying to fight on China or the Chinese people or anything like that. It's just, I think it's kind of interesting to point out the paradoxes. Like, here we are, we're trying to, well, at least in the West, we're trying to push to a Web3 situation where everyone is far more in control of their own destiny and that sort of thing. Yet a significant part of the global population and the global economy, that's not what they're about. So, yeah, there's going to be a clash of ideologies there somewhere.
Yeah.
Watch this space, I guess.
Yeah. It's sad.
Now,
like when we first read this article, I was like, you know, I want to be in the splinter that is like the China metaverse, because I'm sure that's going to be amazing. But hopefully, you know, we'll see what happens.
Now, to get you out of the doom and gloom, and speaking about declining birth rates and all that sort of stuff, I have the perfect article for us to dive into. Oh, I missed the heading. Ja-jang.
What? What will sex and sexuality look like in the metaverse? I'm so glad I'm old and will die soon. Because like this is gonna be so weird.
Pause this video.
It's gonna be so weird. This is what the new kids are gonna be. I can't wait to see this article. What are we watching? Where the Crawdads Sing in cinemas now.
I missed all of that because I clicked on the wrong thing. This is the one that I was talking about that's bloody annoying. And now it's not going to load. Here we go. And then it pops up down there. Yeah. So what the metaverse is, or rather will be, is impossible to define. It's easiest to think of it like Sims, a digital reality where you can work, play, and shop. That kind of simplifies it.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg believes that we will spend a large chunk of our lives in these worlds, and companies are already working to answer a critical question: what will sex and sexuality look like in the metaverse? I mean, we've been joking about this from day one of this show, you know, like, and I think we talked about it again last week, like sex often, the sex industry often pushes the capabilities of technology, especially internet-based technology. So, you know, Web3 and, you know, metaverses, it's going to be no different. So,
Yeah.
here we go. Over to you, Playboy.
Playboy is already building a meta mansion. Wow. And now the world's first sexual wellness center has opened in this new digital reality. Sexual wellness. Love Honey is behind the pop-up space in Decentraland, a 3D world designed on the Ethereum blockchain and token-based commerce at its core. Think erotic NFT art going up for auction, a digital dance floor to show off new music-based products, educational videos and workshops. Well, this is something that Zoe needs to get off her tushy and you know, contact me to help, because she wants to put out her own NFT type thing that is has similarities.
Oh yeah, this website. What is it? Oh, there you go. It's Nine News Australia. 9 News Australia. Your website freaking sucks with all these ads. So here we go. Here's the sexy dance floor.
Oh, it looks scary.
Yeah.
Where is this at? What metaverse is this?
Yeah, I believe this is the Decentraland one. It's the Love Honey. Love Honey is like a sex pro. I don't know. What do you call it?
It looks like a murder house. It looks like there's blood all over the walls. Like, this is something for us to go to. Like, you want to hack some people up and bloody the walls?
Well,
yeah.
People have their strange kinks. So when this reporter jumped over to the Decentraland Love Honey Metaverse or whatever it is, only 2 of the floors were open when they created an avatar on launch day. There was no NFT art or workshops they could find, just 2 of its floors accessible via the lift. You don't need VR goggles to get involved. People naturally look at entertainment as the only possibility for sex tech. Whoa, there's a new term, sex tech.
Sex tech.
But this D-tech, sex tech. There we go.
If he's here, he would be blushing. He'd be like, oh,
my God, this website sucks. Sorry. People naturally look at entertainment as the only possibility for sex tech, but there is also a potential for sex education, sexual harm. So you already covered that. Plus the combined, and I can never say that word, anonymity and intimacy of this platform allows people to engage with this topic further, where they perhaps don't feel comfortable in real life, allowing more people to educate. Yeah, it's like the classic, you know, you got your trench coat on and you pull the collar up and you go into the sex store and you're flicking through the magazines or whatever. That's you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that same stigma when you're at home in the metaverse, you know. Doing this sort of stuff.
Like, I thought this was something you go into and you see it's like a orgy spot or something.
Like a live donkey show
like
or something.
A whole bunch of, I don't think any donkeys would be there, but now it's in my head. Thank you. But like, just
you need a special NFT people, to get access to that floor. Yes. So.
And the building looks atrocious. They could have done a lot better job with that. Like, I'm sure they were trying to be.
Oh, it's tacky and trashy as hell.
Yeah, that looks like intestines. And then you're going into an asshole or something, like with no skin on it.
Yeah, so it says, God. Well, maybe that's somebody's kink. Love Honey insists its visitors' well-being and protection is its highest priority. Now, this, you know, we have looked at articles on this previously where people have entered the Facebook metaverse and their avatars have been sexually assaulted. and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So
Hey,
and we do know
don't do the quotes. It's a thing. It's a thing, you man.
yeah. Okay, it is and it isn't. I mean, you can always just take your headphones off or something.
I mean, but that means you're being excluded from something that like everybody else can go to comfortably. Like,
yeah, you're right. You
half
should
the
be able to
population.
engage. You should be able to engage without having to deal with that at all. Yeah, you're right. So there is a good little thing here which I liked. You can read this part.
A security avatar, Betty the Bee, will greet visitors at the front door to the pop-up space, ask to ensure they're over 18, and provide information on how they can report inappropriate behavior and block anyone who is making them feel uncomfortable. Users can easily select the block function by clicking on the other person's avatar. As a failsafe, pressing the E key on their keyboard will also move a person to a random area of the Love Honey store. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of things we need.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be dickheads in the metaverse. There's dickheads everywhere. There's always going to be sexually perverted dickheads in the metaverse because they're kind of everywhere as well. Yeah, having some way to very quickly and easily negate whatever their crap they're trying to pull is very important, whether that be through blocks or shadow bans. I mean, those kind of things are never great, but if and they can be abused. Like if somebody just goes in and starts randomly reporting people for no reason, that's kind of tricky as well. But yeah, there definitely needs to be something.
Yeah, I mean, you could just picture like your daughter, your wife, your sister, your mom going into a place for the first time, and instead of enjoying themselves, people are just freaking attacking them with awful words and whatnot. It's not fun. It's not fun.
I don't want to picture anybody in my family engaging in sex tech.
Just not in sex tech, but just in general, like
Just
going
general,
anywhere. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's the internet, isn't it? I mean, there's dirt bags everywhere.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, but you're not affected you're not affected by it directly.
By it, yeah. Absolutely. All right, we got one more thing to cover on, which I had available, and I'll bring that up again. It kind of is pointing towards where this is all heading now. I'm going to close that one because that was killing my computer. So I thought this one was pretty good.
How the metaverse is slowly transforming the workplace. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, look at these freaking websites. Can we
You don't
just
have
get
an
rid
ad
of the
blocker?
internet? Well, that's the thing, I do, but there's pop-ups are out of control. As companies struggle to return employees, low system resources. My
Oh,
God.
no.
As companies struggle to return employees to offices full-time, interest in virtual alternatives like the metaverse has surged, providing new business opportunities for firms like New York-based IA Interior Architects. Yada, yada, yada. The coronavirus pandemic changed everything. These days, you're more likely to find this guy at home donning a virtual headset rather than visiting construction sites. So he's an architect. So there's a pretty cool picture there where he's got his headset on and he's doing his architecty work at home.
That's pretty cool. That's like similar to Lily.
Yeah.
She does architect. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's going to be great for a whole wide range of industries. Obviously, there's service industries and things like that where this is not going to be a possibility. Like as much as I'd like to have a headset on and look after 22 kindergarten children, that's just not a possibility.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Definitely. You know what?
Or the garbage man.
I want to say something weird. His ear is catching my attention. Like I want to draw it because it's very deep. You went away from his ear.
Sorry, I was trying to get rid of an ad, but I clicked on. What? You're getting all...
Look at how detailed it is.
Oh my God.
That could help me. That could
Okay,
help
well,
me go further.
The link's in the description, Cheese. You can go and check that out later.
All right. Maybe I'll have to beat it later.
So frustrated by Zoom calls and those muted squares, this message guy said employers are increasingly seeking out new ways to engage workers nearly 3 years into the work from home experiment, and they're finding that upgrades are much easier in the metaverse. Now, this next part I thought was really, really cool. You want to take that over? We initially
thought, along with clients, that we would be replicating their office space. That has not actually happened once, Mesick said. Virtual spaces have the branding and the feel and the look, perhaps, of the physical office, but you don't have the same rules. What does that mean?
So basically, like, if you're an architect, right, and you're used to going to your office, the kind of online metaverse setup that they're doing, it's not replicating that office. That's too narrow focus. There's a world of opportunities here, and it dives in further. So while this company's Atlanta studio physical location was built near the city's Midtown neighborhood, Mesick and his team opted to transport the same structure to the coast of South Africa when it came to designing the metaverse.
Ooh.
Employees have since taken to hosting happy hours and brainstorming sessions along the virtual waterfront in the absence of face-to-face gatherings.
That's awesome.
Mesick said, that the designers have placed particular attention to the use of biophilia, making sure that water rippling or grass and trees moving inside the virtual world are as close to real life as possible. So yeah, you don't need to make the virtual workspace a boring, drab, bloody white booth sort of thing. You can do whatever you want. That's the whole point. It's the world is what you want to make of it.
Wow. And what is that picture of? An example of what?
Well, it says here, we did a lot of design study groups, both internally and externally, and consistently the top two requests were outdoor spaces and vistas. So yeah, an example of BCG's metaverse. So this is always the classic sci-fi thing. Like if you watch any of those space movies where people have to travel for long distances, you always see in many of them, you see like the person who's been in stasis or whatever for many years, they're sitting behind a screen or sitting looking at a screen of waterfalls and nature, and then they click a button and it goes to the different view.
Yeah.
You know, there's something within the human psyche that needs that. Like I know when I first visited Japan, and I visited Tokyo, and I went up into one of the high towers, and my brain couldn't comprehend that I could look in 360 degrees to the horizon and all I could see was buildings and concrete. It just freaking blew my mind. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know what it's like in the States, so I assume it's similar to Australia. I can't go anywhere in Australia and not look in the distance on the horizon and see a mountain, trees, you know, like full-on forest trees, or the ocean or the beach or something. I can't imagine living in an environment like that where you're just surrounded by the human chaos. You know, there's no natural elements to it.
Well, no, the US is definitely different. Like New York, of course, is big, but if you go up into the Empire State Building, you can see kind of beyond the buildings. And where I am, there's nothing but surrounding me with mountains in the valley. And especially in Arizona, they prohibit buildings being built too high. They have a height limit. And you could see a lot of sky here, which is very beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind. Like when I decided to move to Japan to live, I specifically chose a city that was not Tokyo because I just couldn't imagine. Some people thrive in that and they love that kind of hustle and bustle, chaos and whatever. But I needed some kind of nature, so I moved out amongst the rice fields. I had a way better time. So yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, if you're stuck in a cubicle for 8-10 hours a day, and you know you're looking at your white wall all day, well, what do people do? They put up pictures of their family. They put up pictures of where they want to go on holidays. Well, imagine being in a virtual workspace where that's your actual background. You know, pick it to be whatever you want. So,
And another
Yeah.
good example is this video game I played with which plays on the mind heavy. It's a horror game, and it talks about virtual reality and what it means for your subconscious to actually go somewhere. And it's very clever, and the ending is so crazy. Like, I'm not going to ruin it for anyone, but the name is Soma, Soma. And
Yep.
I mean, don't play it if you don't like scary games, because it's really scary, but it's worth a play, definitely, if you're not scared. What was that picture of up there?
Absolutely. It's like a virtual meeting room,
Oh,
that sort of thing. So that's kind of more traditional, I would say.
yeah.
It says here, the virtual office space designed by Munich-based Arthur Technologies includes snowy resorts and tropical retreats. Users can exchange post-it notes, share ideas on a whiteboard, and sip on virtual drinks while conducting private conversations within a group setting. So I think after 2 years of Zoom, most people are exhausted and sick of looking at their own picture and sick of being on there. So who knows, maybe in 2 years, the Whine and Cheese show will have our own little metaverse space somewhere. And maybe it might be a platform like Deluxe if there's some recordable operability there, where instead of us being two talking heads on Zoom, there's a bit more functionality there.
Yeah, that would be fun. First, they
So,
got to
yeah,
get back to us on the NFT so I could get it out for you guys.
I checked last night before I went to bed and there was nothing there. And I'd pinged them specifically. Let me just check that again before I go. Yep, nothing. Crickets. Yeah. So yeah, I think a mixed reality is what you'll be observing. Your office, in a way, it is now. You'll be greeting people from other locations as avatars and holograms. We think that's in the very near future. So yeah, no, that's cool. Kind of almost makes me want to go out and get an office job.
No.
No. Yeah. But I definitely, like my children, once they're in the kind of workforce, that's going to be a huge part of their lives, undoubtedly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yes, that's about all I had today. That was quite a journey today. We've been up, we've been down, we've been round, we've been in and out with the sexy things.
Yeah, this was a
And-
good one. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this show. It's kind of nice, not like, really having to pause or let someone else talk. But it is
Yeah.
nice having people on our show.
Yes,
that.
and we'll get back to that at some stage. Cheese and I Cheese is under the pump from all angles. I'm under the pump from all angles with, various projects, especially with the outdoor decor shop that's going on. As soon as I get off this call, 5:30 a.m., I've probably got an hour before the kids wake up. I'm going to go straight back in and see what's happening with that. We've just done a bunch of submissions. DTech had to do some extra work. So, yes.
Yes.
And I did have to get back to you, and DTech and I need to get together sometime very soon, actually.
Yeah.
We might ping DTech and see if he's around, eh?
All right.
All right. You know what to do. You got to get it ready, remember? Not me.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up.
The left fire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. The left fire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. The left fire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. The left fire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.